Cheers. Here's Siddle. He's got it in! He's given it in! Taylor Siddle's got a hat-trick on his birthday!
Hello everybody and welcome to a very special episode of Two Slips in the Gully. We are recording this one live as we speak. So for those of you listening and for those of you who are watching, I'm Aaron. I'm joined by Glenn.
Hello.
And I'm also joined by Gary.
This is me.
Captain Gary.
Hey guys. No.
This is our 64th episode of Two Slips in the Gully and our first one that we've attempted to bring to visual medium. So we're very, very excited. And we've got a bit of a special episode coming up. We are, of course, going to unpack the beginning of the England-India series and how that's unfolding thus far. We are all watching with bated breath. We're all token English supporters for the next few weeks.
Yep.
As we need England to win or draw the series for Australia to make the World Test Championship. So we've got some hopes riding on this series.
I love England.
Always been a fan of the Poms. Never said a bad word about them.
And I will until the end of this series.
And I will be a fan until the very end of this series. Maybe until the end of the World Test Championship if they win. If they lose, then it's all bets are off. And the other thing that we're going to follow up with is this year is the 50th year since the first one-day international was played. So not the very first ODI game. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be a long-form game that ended up being washed out, and Australia and England decided to play each other in a short-form game, which Australia won. So it's 50 years since that game took place. And we thought that we'd put together our all-time one-day international sides, but with a little bit of a twist, so we all didn't end up picking the same players. We were restricted to only picking one player from every eligible one-day international nation. So if we picked Tendulkar, we couldn't pick Dhoni or Kohli. If we picked Ponting, we couldn't pick McGrath or Gilchrist or Warren, so on and so forth. You get the idea. So we'll have that coming up at the end of the episode as well. So, yeah, big things coming your way.
It's got it in! Knocked him over! The pressure was too much!
So big things happening over in India at the moment. The Test series that is quite pivotal for Australian fans everywhere, not to mention Indian and English fans, is locked at one apiece. India fought back and got a 319-run victory over England yesterday, levelling the series at 1-1 after an incredibly impressive performance by the English, especially Joe Root and James Anderson, to take the first match of the series. So it has been a series that has not been without drama, guys.
Yeah, I've read a little bit into it and I've watched a bit of it, but tell us more, Aaron.
I don't know if we want to start with me. I've got some quite damning things to say. This particular Test match, the second Test of the series, has done a lot to undermine the respect that I had for the Indian cricket side that they got after their just epic performance in Australia, where they was back against the walls, players going down injured. That required just a lot of internal grit to do that, and really just strength of character and having to fight through adversity. But the side that toured Australia and won, when they left the shores, I had a tremendous amount of respect for them because it couldn't have been easy. We would have expected to beat that side at full strength, and not only did we not beat that side, they weren't even remotely close to full strength when they beat us. So had lots of respect for that Indian cricket team, and it's evaporated after what's happened in the second Test. England came up and gave them a bloody nose in that first Test, came out swinging, smacked them hard, drew blood, and then what do? They sack the curator, and the BCCI takes direct control of the preparation of the second Test pitch, and look what we got.
So they take direct control. Is that
They were
fully documented, or did they just put a different guy on?
From what I've read, the BCCI their people were in charge of preparing the pitch for that game. And before anyone jumps down and goes, Rohit scored 160 and Ashwin scored 100. I'm not talking about how the pitch played. England needed to be better. They can't get rolled for under 150 in India and expect to get anywhere remotely close to winning games. England had to be better. It's not the pitch's fault that England didn't play well. They needed to come out with much better techniques to spin than what they did. So by no means am I saying that it was unplayable, because it clearly wasn't. Rohit Sharma scored a fantastic 100.
Yeah.
Ashwin scored it. But what I don't like is the fact that they immediately they lost a game, and it was based on Joe Root scoring some runs and James Anderson getting the ball reverse swing. And they immediately decided to put up a pitch which would take those players both out of the game. And they just brought out an absolute dust bowl from day one. If it's not cheating, it's certainly not in the spirit of the game to be doing that. I've always maintained...
To quote Anil Kumble.
I've always maintained, regardless of where in the world it is, Australia, India, England, wherever, a cricket wicket should be balanced for all facets of the game. Day one should start out, if not necessarily grass, but ideally grass, but at least hardness, bit of carry, some pace in it for the fast bowlers to use. Day 2 and 3, it should flatten out, be the best for scoring runs. Day 4 and 5, the surface starts to break up and you get spin coming into the game. That's how a cricket wicket should be it in India, be it in Australia here, be it over in England, that's how it should look. And so for all the Indians on social media going, well, when we go over to England, they just give us tennis courts to play on and you don't mind that. We do mind that. We mind that a lot. That gets criticised quite a great deal when the outfield looks the same as the pitch. That doesn't mean that you get to have this victim mentality and just go, well, you've got to learn to play spin, so why can't it spin from day one? It's because that's not how cricket wickets are supposed to work. Moeen Ali bowled Virat Kohli through the gate on day one.
Oh, that was
Moeen Ali.
Yeah.
He's a bowling machine. Like, he's a rainbow wig away from being a clown. That's how many pies he tosses. And he bowled it like it's just...
I feel like you've been holding on to that one.
Yeah, I think he might have been.
Gone straight down the throat of first slip.
I was reading that Joe Root, when in that really bad sort of Rahane one, asked about the third umpire, he said, "Oh, well, is he drunk?" He asked him. He asked if the umpire is drunk.
Well, I think that, and that's
So, surely he has to be fined for that. You can't speculate that your officials are intoxicated. That's as bad as what Tim Payne did. I can't remember what he did.
He was fined 15%.
Because he says it with an English accent, he gets away with it because it's more civilised or something.
I'm going to take the unpopular road here, and I'm sick and tired of match officials being protected species. I think so long as it's done politely or with respect, you absolutely should be able to question.
But that's not respectful.
Yeah, it's not. But there's all this. No, you got to take
if you make a mistake at work and someone comes up and asks if you're drunk, unless you in fact are, you probably take exception to that.
Yes, so that's not. But the whole you have to take what the umpire says and just and wear it. I think I think that's rubbish, because in that particular case, they just completely didn't check.
Yeah.
Snicko
as
terrible.
a
ballpark. Like that's one that should be.
It was absolutely terrible, but it's not up to Joe Root to tell him that it was terrible.
He's the captain, though. I believe. I'm sick of all sports where it's just.
But there's got to be an umpire's umpire. There's got to be someone who's in charge of the umpires and goes, "You really screwed that up."
Yeah, but it doesn't help.
That's up to them.
It doesn't help.
It's not up to Joe Root.
It doesn't help Joe Root in a week from now when the umpires go and review that and go,
"Oh yeah, we got it wrong."
Yeah, we got it wrong. Joe Root should be able to respectfully go, "Guys, this is crap. You need to go and check this again."
He can respectfully disagree and say that's a terrible decision, but he has to move on. You can't say he's drunk
you can't say that. But why does he have to move on? I think, but especially with that one, all they did, and they got Rahane out not long after that, so it didn't burn them. But imagine if he went on and scored 100 there. They gave England the review back.
Yeah, I think you can say yes, it's a terrible call. But I think with Tim Payne's, I can't remember. I know that he used the F word, and I think that when you're addressing an umpire, you have to think about the language that you're using. But in a way, what Joe Root said was worse. Worse than what Payne said.
I think I have to agree with Glenn. Like, if you get a bad call, I think as a captain you need to approach the umpire and ask why. I think I've seen in the past Hazelwood go and approach the umpire, and he was told to piss off. Basically, I've seen Dave Warner do it.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
captains are for. Captains are your liaisons to the matchmakers. But why, other than this other than just it's how it's always been, we take it at face value, why aren't we allowed to question, like they're human, they don't have technology there, they're capable of making mistakes.
I think we're allowed to question them. I think it's the way they went about it.
Got him! There it is! Wicket number 700! And they can't catch him!
We're getting to the exciting part, for me anyway. I always love picking teams.
Oh, if we didn't know that, nobody knew that.
Nobody knew. No one is watching the podcast for the first time, but no.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at some of our older episodes, we do quite a lot of team picking.
All of our new listeners / viewers. You know, we're going to draw the crowd in.
So we're going to get down.
With our looks.
Yeah.
We're going to get down to it, and this one is going to be, like we said, we're going to pick an all-time one-day international side, but the caveat is that we're going to pick one player from every nation. So we've got 12.
Yep.
12.
How do we decide who's got the best team?
Well, I've got the best team.
No, you're wrong.
Do you put it to a poll? They always agree with Aaron. I swear he's stacked those Facebook groups with like people who agree with him.
It's his mum and dad.
He's screamed them. Screamed them.
Or hear me out. Maybe I've just picked the best team.
No.
No.
All right, well, we'll start with you, Gary. So, you're in batting position, I'm assuming?
Yeah, in batting. Well,
So-
kind of in batting order. I can swap and change.
Alright, he's doing a Scotty. He's going to open with Hazim Amla. Although that'd be okay in the 50 over game.
I've actually done like a lot of homework. I've got averages, wickets taken, runs scored, and I'm going to tell everyone what they are at the end. You ready?
Yep.
Adam Gilchrist to open the batting.
Wicketkeeper as well, I'm assuming.
No, he's going for a run.
You never know.
Make him run.
He could have picked a specialist keeper. He might have Dhoni in the side. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Brendan McCullum. From
You
New
see, he's got
Zealand.
another wicketkeeper right there.
Yep. And wait for it. There will
They
be
have to
more.
fight it out.
One of the greatest one-day players of all time, Sachin Tendulkar.
Alright.
Brian Lara from the West Indies.
Well, he's a keeper, but in a different way. Yeah.
And just to fill in for you, Glenn, Kumar Sangakkara.
Right.
He can keep too. So that's all right.
Well, I reckon egg and spoon race to
Yeah.
see who keeps.
Yeah, I'll give it to Gilly. Jack Callis from South Africa.
Yeah.
Shakib El Hassan from Bangladesh. Ben Stokes from England. It was a tough... I didn't really want to pick another Englishman. Ben Stokes, I know he's still in the midst of his career, but his averages are just really good.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to pick someone from England, I think you have to go with modern players.
Yeah,
because they're modern success.
Yeah, and the fact that he can bat and bowl and...
Maybe David Gower is probably the only old-timey one that I'd think.
Yeah.
Maybe Ian Botham.
Both of them, maybe.
But, and then Wasim Akram from Pakistan. That was a dead set given. I don't know why you wouldn't pick him from Pakistan. Rashid Khan from Afghanistan, because everyone loves Rashid Khan. And his average in one day is ridiculous. Heath Streak from Zimbabwe is my number 11. And I do have a 12th man, Paul Sterling from Ireland, actually. So
You have a lot of all-rounders in that side.
I do,
Yeah.
because I don't know if you noticed, but you have to bat and bowl in cricket.
Okay. So I have Sanath Jayasuriya, Sachin Tendulkar, Mohammad Yusuf, Kevin O'Brien, Shakib Al Hassan, Michael Bevan, Mark Boucher, Heath Streak, Rashid Khan, Shane Bond, Curtly Ambrose.
That's a very well balanced side.
Well, yeah, and I didn't put an Englishman in because I was trying to decide who I was going to go with from England, and the obvious choice is Stokes, and the other obvious choice is probably Joe Root because they're from a successful World Cup winning
Winning side.
yes. But then I was like, that's all right. I'll decide on the Englishman later. And then I finished it and forgot to put someone in. So I just went with Darren Goff because I always enjoyed watching Darren Goff play.
I'm running with also Sanath Jayasuriya at the top of the order. But I'm also going to open with Andy Flower as my wicketkeeper and other opening batsman.
Designated Zimbabwean.
Designated Zimbabwean. I'm going to go Viv Richards at 3, Virat Kohli at 4, AB de Villiers at 5, Shakib Al Hassan, Ben Stokes, Rashid Khan, Wasim Akram, Shane Bond, and Glenn McGrath is my Australian. I plan on using Ben Stokes a little bit like how they use Glenn Maxwell a little bit, so float around the order as need be. So even though he's listed at 7, he might come in at 4, depending on how well my top order goes. And I think there's quite a lot of balance. I've got 40 overs, 40 overs of pace. I got 30 overs of spin. So I've got lots of flexibility. Got a dasher at the top of the order. I've got arguably the 2 best, or arguably the 3 best one-day international batsmen in Richards, Kohli and de Villiers in the middle order. So we'll throw it to those of you listening at home and those of you watching. Leave a comment. Who do you think has picked the best side? As always, we have social media. So we've got our brand new YouTube channel, which you're obviously watching this on. We've got Facebook. We've got Twitter. So feel free to join the conversation. Just search 2 Slips in a Gully in Facebook or Twitter. And then get involved. Tell us, who do you think has created the best side? And then
I feel like I spent maybe the least time, so factor that in as well.
Alright, thank you very much for watching, guys. For the full episode, please head to SoundCloud, search for 2 Slips in a Gully, or anywhere where you can get podcasts. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify. We're on an app called Goodpods. Anywhere where you can get podcasts is where you'll find us. That's 2 Slips in a Gully. Join up and you can get the whole episode. Hope you like and subscribe. And leave any comments. See you next week, guys. Bye for now.
Over.